Alright, and we're gonna have a 1.5 minute delay, but we can already talk about the matchup. So Valdemar playing the Chinese against Trakor with the Rus. I'm pretty sure I've seen Trakor with playing with the Rus before. So this is one of his more comfort civs. And for Valdemar, I don't know if there's a comfort civ for him. I mean, he's also coaching people. He's a very, very good player as well. And so I'm pretty certain that he figured out most, if not all, civs. So overall, I would say that he is favored in this situation. But then again, Trakor also won his first series 2-0, so also a very, very good player in his own right. Let's take a quick look at. Yeah, so he's sitting at top 150, Conquer 3 player as well. So both players Conquer 3 and should be a very even match in terms of player skill, in terms of matchup on Coastal Cliffs, Chinese against the Rus. So it's kind of like Dry Arabia, but a little bit smaller, narrow map, and so definitely open for a lot of aggression. A lot of deer on the map as well, if I believe correctly, if I remember correctly. But we're in. So Chinese, Valdemar in yellow on the left side of the map against Rus in blue on the right side, opening with a hunting cabin. And so yeah, what I was talking about. So we have a couple of deep sea fish here, but there's no way to actually get to that. And so it's basically 1/3 of the map is not accessible at all. Which means yeah, the map basically is a lot smaller, a lot closer to each other in a way, just because of how you expand. You have to expand forward. There's no other way basically. And also, notably, the stone always is very far away on this map, and so for civs like Mongols, Ottomans, um, it's not really great. It's not a great map just because it's so far how far away it is. It's also not too great for civs which wanna go multiple TC play. But yeah, pretty standard opener here with the mill, and then probably is looking for. Well, I mean, he might just get the Imperial official once he has the Imperial Academy going. So I mean, Chinese can get both landmarks, but he can choose in which order he gets them if he wants to have both of them. So could look for the Imperial Academy, then pump out some Imperial officials, and looking for some pro scouts. So a little bit different than the GC opening, but still plays out fairly similar. With Rus, we have the 2 hunting cabin opener, so gotta provide a lot of nice free passive gold. It doesn't look like a lot, but um, over time, it's like indefinite basically, and you get it from like minute 1, so it's actually very, very nice. And you can see like he's already almost there in terms of 200 gold for his age up. Pretty close here as well with food, so he'll be able to click up very soon. Imperial Academy is coming up, no surprise. So just as I mentioned, looking for Imperial Academy, then getting the cheaper Imperial officials, and then just dropping off taxes as well as supervising the mill, going for the pro scouts. And yeah, then we go from there. So Golden Gate also no surprise. So again, we have pro scouts against pro scouts action in this matchup. So in terms of deer, there's 2 deer packs here. So like kind of close to the roost base, so that is gonna be very nice for him. This one also kind of safe for Valdemar on the left side of his base, and this one is kind of exposed, but still fairly close to the Chinese base, and so both players are gonna look for getting as many of the deer as possible. Then there's also 2 boars, which of course you can't carry them, but they're also a very nice food source. so they could look for something like that as well once the deer ran out. Chinese getting there with to the Imperial, to the Feudal Age a little bit faster. There's the Imperial official, the first one. Probably gonna stick to one for the time being, I would suppose. I don't think that he will go for multiple ones early on. And as I'm saying that, is already in the second one. And one villager on gold, 2 on gold right now, so just to boost his gold income just a little bit. Let's look at the split. So yeah, 10, 5, 3. So just a little bit of wood to secure that you have enough wood to produce. You know, going for stable pretty soon. Maybe some archery ranges later on. Then to spam your Shuganu once you have your Barbican in place. So there's a stable. Pro Scouts not yet being researched, but I mean he's getting there. He's very, very close in resources. Trakor is already getting the Pro Scouts, has 3, like 2 and 1 in queue. Valdemar currently has 3 in queue, so of course he has a few less scouts than the Rus have, just because they can produce them for hunting cabin. So historically both civs, they can go for a fast castle play, but especially since the Pro Scout build hasn't really been worked out, like neither civs usually go for a fast castle play because the Pro Scout play is just so much better. Valdemar apparently trying to pull the boar here into the action. I don't think that he will actually be successful with that, but it would be super funny to actually do that. And I mean, yeah, if there would be some Rus scouts, he actually could have been successful. And now he's up with 6 scouts, so really, really a lot of scouts here. And then yeah, Trakor also 6 scouts, 2 more in queue, so is looking for some more scouts there. In terms of admin, I think let me check real quick. You can ask you can ping Blit and Death Jackal potentially. They should also be kind of available. But yeah, you can see the deer streaming in here for Valdemar. That's gonna be a very nice food source that he released. So apparently deer sheep ran out, so he needs to go for some deer here. And so yeah, they are happily going on to the deer. And yeah, this one scout also taking the more safe deer here on this side of the map, and then he's also now looking for his second deer patch. Yeah, good teamwork. He kills it, and the other scout then just takes it. So very, very nice team play here. Teamwork by different scouts from different players. That board is also being taken, so yeah, as I mentioned, like you can pull it in a little bit to your side and then you can take it. The other board is... Why is it not on the mini-map anymore? That's strange. Horsemen not doing a whole lot of damage, but against such slow scouts, managing to get 1 kill here. So Valdemar losing a scout, which is not the biggest deal. And Barbican of the Sun being dropped forward here, yeah, securing the gold, securing the boar. in general, just opening up the map for you, so pretty perfect position, kind of also securing this gold, just by the way of, like, you have to go around, and then there's also a tower here, so very nice. Also reaching the Song Dynasty with that, so villager gonna come out a little bit faster now, 15 seconds. So kind of like at some point it will pay off as if he would have gone for second town center. Trakor is opening here with the high trade house, and again, like this map, like there's like a lot of straggler trees here, but other than that it's only like 3 wood lines for each player. And so it's, you either want to place your high trade house like in between 2 woodlands, but then again you also have the hunting cabin here already, so you might as well do it here to cover it that way. And this one is just too far out, it's too exposed, too dangerous to go there. And then the astronomical clock tower is the first castle age landmark choice for Valdemar. Villagers on the run needs to be careful here to not lose villagers against the horsemen. Nice little surround here, as that villager is gonna lose his life, dropping off 0 wood before it dies. Very good. Very diligent. But 2 horsemen also losing their life. So both players now reaching castle age at around 10 minutes. 2 monasteries being dropped here by Trakor immediately. Is going to look for also for the text here, wheelbarrow, and then as well as with the horticulture and the double broadaxe. Looking for the relics here. So even though the map is smaller than other maps, it's still 5 relics. So 3 relics and then 1 for each player. So which means you can get to the relics pretty fast, and then it's a lot of nice free gold income. There's also 2 sacred sites, so we could see them being taken pretty soon. Nice pick up here again by Valdemar, getting the kill on the scout and then securing the relic. Very nice. So currently Valdemar is just looking for mass spearmen here, a couple horsemen, and then 1 single palace guard and a couple of Jugunu as well. And then we again see the horse archer, so the pretty popular by now, I would say. Like in recent patches it not always has been that popular, but nowadays very popular unit for the Rus. And I mean, it is quite obvious in most matchups because it's so fast. Even with a good with good micro, you can just kite back and forth, and you can clean up the spearmen pretty well. Needs to be careful though, because they do take quite a lot of damage from crossbows and Jugunu. They're the Jugunu. But then again, they're also dealing quite a lot of base damage, and so difficult to deal with actually if you look at it. In small numbers they're quite menacing. And then they also provide the warrior monk with enough time to just go onto the relics, which is the 3rd one for Valdemar, so it's gonna be a 3-2 split. And yeah, so Rus on 1 TC, and due to the Song Dynasty, Valdemar is already ahead in villager numbers. So you can see his eco is already up just a little bit. Army value 2 times as much as the Rus currently has, which, I mean, they're only on horse archers, and that's currently all they're doing. So yeah, luckily being able to just barely get up the wall here, so the horse archers cannot go in there. And then yeah, just closing in the wall here, so this is gonna be saved, and you have the Barbican, which is gonna provide a lot of cover, and then it's walled off here on this side, and so you can see there's really only like this kind of angle of attack here for the Rus. And Valdemar has a pretty good vision of everything around his base. There's nothing that will surprise him, nothing that can come in from another side. On the other hand, Trakor is pretty limited in terms of vision. He doesn't see anything. He did go for a second TC just recently, so that is gonna help him close the gap here. But yeah, other than that, he doesn't see anything. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing. Valdemar could go Imperial Age, he could mass up army, he could be here with 40 units. Trakor doesn't know. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how he is gonna, like, how do you work in a situation where you don't see what your opponent is doing. You kind of have to like rely on your experience, on your gut feeling, and then hopefully build the right units. Because the amount of army doesn't really matter if the units are the wrong choice. Second site being captured right now, so Valdemar is applying a lot of pressure here. Looking very strong here in terms of army. Army value is yeah, huge right now for him. Still ahead in villagers, so he's still fine. Although the Rus they do have their passive income, and then also their bounty bonus, so like their bounty increased gather rate. From like not gather rate, sorry, but there. But so in terms of getting food here, the Rus, they do have a little bit of a bonus in their favor, but the question is gonna be if it's gonna be enough to contest with an army that is just so much bigger than yours. A couple rams coming in, and so 30C being built here. I think that's a little bit over commitment here on Trakor's part. I think 2 TCs was fine. I think 3 is a little bit too much, but we're gonna see. And again, doesn't know what's going on here. He knows that there's a couple of units lurking around here, but he doesn't have any vision. Sorry. And so now rams are moving in, a 4th one being constructed, and so this is a very good angle of attack here. The TCs are not very strong. And so if you can torch them down, that's gonna be a huge blow to the eco. And now breaching through the palisade walls, they do have a lot of health, but eventually you do get them down. It's also funny how this one has enough health, like as much health as the town center has. But yeah, it is what it is. And now with a little bit of delay, the rams are finally getting through and then pushing onto the TC. Valdemar not even picking one, he's just like distributing 2 and 2. And hopefully there will be enough, and it kind of looks like it will be, because his army is just pushing through. Yes, there's 16 villagers garrison, but he can't really do anything here. And so losing 1 TC, he will shortly after that lose the second one. And this already looks game to me, because this is so much damage that you just dealt. And his army is still standing. I mean, it's not like he lost a ton of units. His main army is still there. And yeah, Trakor can't hold that push. And so we can see how strong a push from the Chinese can be if they're going pro scouts and then castle age and then just push in a couple minutes later. Very good display here by Valdemar, taking the first game in their best of 3 series. So yeah, completely outnumbering his opponent and then just going from there. Alright, so I need to switch. No, I don't need to switch. Very nice. Okay. Alright, 4 lakes. Valdemar playing the Abbasid against Trakor with the Holy Roman Empire. So, very interesting map. I personally like it quite a lot because it's so... how do you put it? Like, you can do so much stuff on it. It's a very, very fun map, and just the fact that you have 2 lakes at your disposal and your opponent has as well, and you can pick like, okay, am I going on this one here, or do I sneak a dog in on here as well? And so very even. All 4 lakes have 4 fishing uh, spots as well, deep sea fish. And so it is very even, and it's just a matter of like who plays it better. The spawn in general is very balanced. The relics also very much in the middle, 2 sacred sites in the middle as well. Kinda open map, it's not too easy to wall it off, but that just leads to a lot of aggressive play as well, which I personally also prefer. So yeah, overall I like the map, thumbs up. And scouting wise, so Valdemar doesn't really need to scout the opponent's base. Probably it's not gonna look for a lot of early aggression. So he moved around, he found the one fishing pond here, looked if there was a dock here, didn't find one. It's now looking for the second one. Found there's a close fishing spot as well, so he could go there. Trakor needs to be careful not losing a scout here in the TC. And so Valdemar can guess that Trakor will be on the left side of the pond. Is already walling. Okay, that's okay. He was trying to wall him in there. That's very funny. I like the attempt. But I mean, yeah, walling in, like he just walks around. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so Valdemar knows Trakor is on the left side of the pond, or on the left side pond. He currently is not on any pond. He is switching to a lot of wood while going military wing. So, does he know? Yeah, okay, so he found the gold, so he knows the TC is here. And then it is exposed, so if you're going for the military wing units, you can easily deny that here. And so military wing, this is one of the games where it actually is very, very strong. If you would go for the eco wing instead, like, yeah, you could make it work in a way, but probably by the time you have 3 TCs out, your opponent is on 10 fishing boats without having invested as much, and will probably still outboom you. And so in a matchup like that, on a map like that rather, eco wing not really great, military wing very, very strong. Trade wing, yeah, don't even think about it. A culture wing, I guess you could go for it, but I mean it's probably like for the castle age. You don't want to go for that for the feudal age. And on the other hand, we do have the Aachen Chapel, very conservative placement. So not close to the berries here. Covering the wood line. Let's switch the view. So white. I want to see the influence. Oh man. Anyway, so covering the wood line, also covering the berries or most of them. But yeah, very conservative. In close by to his TC, I think he could have placed it here. That would have been fine. But chose for a very conservative, also very fast age up. 8 villagers on the Aachen Chapel, so he definitely wants to have it very quick. And then he also needs to deal with the military wing units coming in, which, okay, I was gonna say, like, you don't want to go on a dock necessarily, you want to deny the gold. And there's the barracks, which, I mean, okay, you can go for the men at arms once you reach the feudal age, so that is gonna be a good response to these units. Okay, well, I mean, they go for a ram, which, okay, so the ram will go on the dock, and the archers will take care of the villager. Yeah, now he needs to make sure that he actually gets the barracks done. Yeah, now since he reached the feudal age, he went for a dock on either side of the on either pond. Trakor currently only on the left side pond with 3 boats right now. Also getting okay. The galley will not really deal a whole lot of damage to the ram. So I mean, but yeah, then again, like, do you go for the Hulk? Like, also not really great. Yeah, I mean, he does have a man at arm, so man at arms. But then again, it's not really doing a whole lot of damage. So actually, Valdemar could try it. Like, as long as it like starts burning, he could eventually get it down. Not able to get another hit in, so 550 health. Definitely gonna be enough for now to still stand there. I mean, Valdemar only used 200 wood for that, so it's not really like a big deal. It's not a huge investment for him in a sense. Let's switch back to resource per minute, so kind of even right now, both players. And Trakor definitely looking for a more aggressive play here with quite a lot of men at arms now on the field. And so the camel archers will be pretty effective against them, just because of their ability to better kite against them and the higher base damage as well. But still, it's still difficult to deal with them. And now we have a second dock coming up as well. So Trakor is expanding his naval empire, as well as protecting the gold. So he is. It doesn't really look like it, but of course he is looking for a castle age, because at some point you do want to have a castle age, of course, especially as the Holy Roman Empire. And now he's putting on some aggression on the dock himself. Yeah, so yeah, we can see that the camel archers are, with their kiting and back and forth, they're quite effective against the men at arms in a way. At least a lot more than the archers are. But then again, we could just see a quick switch into stables and archers, and that should deal with them quite effectively, because you can just spam archers and then you're fine. Or you can go horsemen, and then again it's like they kind of counter the horsemen because of the camel unease, but you also kind of counter them because of the bonus damage that horsemen deal against ranged units, and so that kind of like evens itself out. Don't have boot camp yet, which, well, yeah, I guess he doesn't really have any units left that would benefit from it, so you might as well save it up for later. Getting close to castle age here in terms of resources, so slowly making his way to castle. At the same time, Trakor is doing the same, has enough gold now, almost. I mean, yeah, he'll get to up to food relatively soon. Probably, yeah, later than the Abbasid. So we have the culture wing coming up for Valdemar. Which, yeah, again, I think in this matchup, military wing into culture wing makes a lot more sense than the eco wing. Um, and then the question is also like, will the game even go as long that multiple TCs with the eco wing uh, would actually be beneficial? I mean, it does more than just having cheaper town centers, but I mean that's that's the main thing for it. That's what it's known mainly, especially in the early game, and then later on there's a couple more bonuses that you get, but yeah. For the early game, it's mostly having cheaper town centers. Valdemar almost being able to snipe one more villager here. But yeah, now we have that comp that is gonna deal with it pretty well with the archers and the horsemen, as well as with the Ragnads coming up. And with the 15 villagers, you actually get there faster than with the Abbasid. Which means now it's on Valdemar to actually defend the relics. In terms of upgrades, both players are pretty conservative as well. Not too many eco upgrades going at the moment. A little bit of a skirmish here coming in from the horsemen on the gold. Able to pick up a villager if I'm not mistaken, but then also losing 2 horsemen here, and so it's still feudal age horsemen, and so he needs to be careful there to not overextend and lose his feudal age army before his upgrades kick in. Feudal age archers as well, feudal age spearmen. And so even though Trakor is castle age right now, his focus is on the relics, 3 prelates and 2 more in queue. And then the horse archers here dealing with the men-at-arms. Also feudal age, so no upgrades for him. Well, I mean, he's getting one now. So he will get there they are. The veteran camel archers, as well as some lancers, so very good choice here. You also don't need to upgrade them because they are already castle age, they are veteran units, and so that is very nice. Got a mosque here, so he could go out with the imams. He has one already, and yeah, there is grabbing the relic, being quicker than the prelate actually, so that is very nice to snag the relic from him. Also, yeah, getting the prelate. So Trakor has 2 relics right now, both in the Ragnads, which is a curious choice in a way to not put it in the outpost. But I mean, if you're hoping to get more, then you might as well keep it here, and then they're very safe. Because in the outpost, if you destroy the outpost, then it's just sitting on the ground, and you don't really want to do that. Another prelate getting killed here by the lancer, and now Valdemar is yet again in a quite favorable position here with a lot of army value. Numbers wise, it looks fine, but yeah, the value is the thing that really matters. Unless they get outclassed, like, you know, countered pretty hard, then the numbers they actually do matter then. Nice little sneaky dock here by Valdemar here to contest the fishing boat as well as here, so so yeah, just a lot of aggression here, like while attacking, also going on both pawns actually, and really trying to yeah, make your opponent force them to make mistakes, force them to be on multiple angles, and usually this is a little bit easier at least if you're used to, as the aggressor. Because you're in control, you're in charge, you know where you're attacking and the other one has to react. And so this is a very good play here by Valdemar. And you can tell in terms of eco, a lot of fishing boats idle, a lot of villagers idle as well. And so just a very good game here by Valdemar, taking another one. So this is the second win for him in the best of 3, which means that he is gonna continue his run. And Trakor unfortunately is defeated, and yeah, very interesting. So you can see like he didn't really invest anything into military for quite a while here, and Trakor maybe could have punished it. But then, like, when he tried, I don't think he actually had the upgrades yet. And so that was really, like, I mean, probably both players didn't really have the upgrades, but, like, that was a brutal fight here for Trakor. And then, even though he's invested heavily into military, there was, like, 3 bad fights here that really, yeah, close the game for him. And in terms of, yeah, like very close otherwise, but like the fights were just super horrible for Trakor.